Hey, welcome back to the devlog of our final extended project for the last year of college. We've missed the last couple uploads, so hopefully this video will allow us to cover everything we've created since the last video.
Hi again. Over the past few weeks, I have been working on the menu music. I made it in a few styles, and the best one was chosen. I am now working on the rest of the music, including, but not limited to, the match start song, the match ending song, and two variations of post-game for victory and defeat. I will finish these and go over them again to make sure they are perfect. Cheers!
Since the last devlog, I haven't really got much work done. This is due to catching COVID-19 on the first day of our half term. I felt pretty ill and was unable to look at my monitor without getting a huge migraine. I've been working on the gun system and I've managed to get shooting weapons which can cause damage and kill players. I have also added blood splatter on the screen when the player has taken damage. As well as this, I have added a scoreboard which allows the players to keep track of their kills and deaths. The scoreboard is still a work in progress and has a couple of bugs. For example, when a player leaves the game, they stay on the scoreboard. Also, when joining a game, everyone else on the scoreboard stays at 0 kills and deaths. Once these problems are fixed, I will be moving on to weapon pickups. Weapon pickups are a big thing we wanted to include in our game. In a single player game, weapon pickups are quite easy. However, our game is multiplayer, which means the weapon they are holding as well as animations need to be synced over the network. Before our deadline, I hope to include hit markers, sound effects and visual effects in the project, as well as a win event, a lose event, and leaderboard displaying most kills, most deaths and highest KD.
Recently, I've been putting a focus into finishing creating every weapon we wanted when we made our plan. This is 15 completely unique weapons with their own custom textures, all kept as close to my limit of 500 triangles as possible. The weapons are all modelled in Blender and I used Photoshop to create the texture maps. I was forced to overlap my UVs in places in order to save as much space on these texture maps as possible, since I was limited to a resolution of 256 by 256 pixels. This number of weapons allows us for more range and mechanics that we can experiment with. We have projectile weapons such as grenade launchers and rocket launchers, hit scan weapons such as the handguns and SMG, and multiple melee weapons to encourage close quarters action. We also have a railgun which will feature a slightly different firing mechanic that forces the player to charge up the weapon before firing. I'm very happy with how these weapons turned out and I really think they hold the classic look I was aiming to create. I've also spent some time working on level design. I talked about a new level at the end of our last video but didn't show exactly what it looked like. The first iteration had some issues that I talked about which I've started ironing out in the new iteration. I've increased the size of the basement to feature multiple entrance points and avoid the risk of the player getting trapped under the map. I'm planning on expanding this basement system more so that it becomes a big feature and has access points everywhere. I'm also planning on increasing the size of the map and adding more locations for the player to explore. The current locations are the central tower, the storage building connected to it, the shipping containers, the construction site, and the basement system. For now I'll be filling up these areas with textured assets as the level currently looks very plain, but hopefully I'll be able to create a few more points of interest before our deadline. I've currently created 2 different props, and this is just the beginning of my asset creation. I've made 2 different shipping container models, one open and one closed, with 3 different textures to keep some variety. I'll arrange these in one area of the map to create a maze of containers, and this will become one of my points of interest. I've also created a barrel model which I textured using the same method as my weapons.
The past couple of weeks have been very slow, as the whole team has had things going on in their lives outside of college. Our final deadline is the 20th of May, so we have approximately 2 weeks to complete this project. There is still a lot of work to finish, so all of us will be focusing on completing this game. Thank you for watching this devlog. Feel free to leave feedback in the comments section below, or contact us through our social media which will be linked in the description.